Hey, this is Jeremy from Production Den. So glad to have you on the channel with me today. Today we're going to be talking about going from a song idea, a small little snippet, and fleshing that out into an entire song structure. Before we jump into that, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you can get alerted when we have new videos, and let's jump in. So usually when I get started in a project, I will get a piece of the song really quickly, so the pre-chorus or the chorus, and I'll be able to flesh out a bunch of things like guitars and voice, background vocals, drums. So let's listen to the snippet that I already had.
Love is a wrecking ball, shatters the lies that you think of it all, and it all comes down to lies that you all believe in, yeah.
So that was the bass line that I had for the song. This was the pre-chorus and the chorus section, and I knew that I would need to come up with a chord progression that would work for the verses. So I sat down with an electric guitar, I played through both of those pre-chorus and chorus progressions, and then ended up coming up with a chord progression I thought would work for the verses. And then I'll sit down and actually record with the electric that verse progression that I think would work. And then I would sit with that progression and I would listen to it over and over and over and try to come up with a vocal melody that I think would work over top of all that stuff. So I went through that a couple of times and then I sat down to actually record that vocal melody. So now that I have the chord progression laid out and the basic vocal melody that I'm going to use, I take that offline. So I grab a notebook and an acoustic guitar and I play through that chord progression and I start trying to fit words to that vocal melody. I ended up shortening down that chord progression for the verse section just to make the song flow a little bit more smoothly. So once I've finished writing the words for the verse, I will set my phone in front of me, bring up the voice memo app, press record, and play the guitar and sing out that verse that I just finished up. And I'll take that audio and I'll drag it into the FL Studio project to have that as a point of reference.
She feels like all eyes are on her now. Wants to run her out of town. She feels all the guilt and doubt. Everybody sees through her disguise. Everybody knows about the lies. Nobody sees how much she cries. Can't she break free?
So now that I brought the voice memos into the FL Studio project, I have a guideline to go back and record electric and bass and drums to put together the section that will become the verse 1, the section that will become verse 2, but then also do the same thing for the bridge section as well. So I'll show you recording the bass for the verse section. And then I'll show you recording the electric for the bridge section. So as I was recording the electric for that bridge section, I had an idea for how I would like to end the song by bringing it back to the pre-chorus, but keeping the dynamic low. So I went ahead and recorded that progression as well, going from the bridge into that ending pre-chorus. So then I would go back through and actually record the scratch vocal for verse 1 and verse 2, and then went back through as well and recorded the scratch vocal for that bridge section that goes into the last pre-chorus. So then once I have all of those scratch tracks together, then I start actually piecing together the form of the song. So I'm putting everything together for verse 1 that goes into the pre-chorus, that goes into the chorus, and then verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, and then the final pre-chorus. And that ends up becoming the basic structure for the song. So I'll walk you through and play you little snippets of each of the sections of the song as it stands now.
Feels like the world's against him now. Wants to run him out of town, judging by the hostile crowd. Everybody alone is a wrecking ball. Shatters the lies that you think of it all, and it all comes down to lies that you all believe in. Like all eyes are on her now. Wants to run her out of town. She feels all the guilt and doubt. Love is a wrecking ball. Shatters the lies that you think of it all, and it all comes down to lies that you all believe in. Too far, never too far gone. Love is a wrecking ball, shatters the lies that you think of it all, and it all comes down to lies that you all believe in. Love is a wrecking ball, shatters the lies that you think of it all, and it all comes down lies that you all believe in.
Well, I hope it was helpful for you to be able to see the process that I use to flesh out song ideas into a full structure that I can then go about arranging and developing more fully. I know that there's 1,000 different ways that you can go about this, and I'm not saying this is the only way. I think it's helpful though sometimes just to be able to see somebody else's creative process to help spark ideas for you. So I'd love for you to go in the comment section below and share some tips or tricks that you use to go from ideas to flesh them out into full songs. As always, thanks so much for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next round.